So, up until today, we have only dealt with vectors of homogeneous data. Homogeneous meaning that all of your data is of the same type. For example, we could have a vector of all doubles, or a logical vector with our trues and falses. We could have a vector of characters, which we know are kind of like strings. But they all have to be the same type. So if we have a vector, it all needs to be homogeneous data. But today we're going to learn about a way we can store heterogeneous data. So if I wanted to store a to, a true, and a string all in the same array, how would I go about doing that? Well, essentially we have to trick MATLAB into thinking all of those things are of the same type. And so we're going to do that using cells. A cell is going to be a brand new data type, and I like to think of cells as Tupperware. A piece of Tupperware can hold whatever you want inside of it, like sandwiches or carrots or whatever, and cells are essentially the same thing. You can put anything inside of a cell, even another cell, and MATLAB just looks at it as a cell. It doesn't care about the contents at all. So we could have a vector of cells, and then we could store things next to each other. So the way that we're going to represent cells in MATLAB is using these things called curly brackets. And so if you look on your keyboard, it's basically shift square bracket, and they look a little bit like this. Okay, and so a cell containing the number 2 would just look like this. Okay, so if I wanted to have a vector with the number 2, the value of true, and the string ABC, I could have a vector with the cell containing 2, the cell containing true, and the cell containing the string ABC. Okay, now this is going to get kind of tedious doing all of these square brackets over and over again, so another way we can write the same array is by wrapping the whole thing in curly brackets. So that vector of cells looks exactly like this. It's exactly the same thing. So by wrapping the whole array in these curly brackets, that tells MATLAB that each of these things are in their own cell, and now they can live next to each other.